Paul, Paul, can we fire Logan Paul? Paul, Paul, can we fire Logan Paul? We start Monday Night Raw from Omaha, Nebraska. We start with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in Gorilla. This is interesting. Seth Rollins on his way to the ring, attacked by Bron Breakker. The show has started as a live wire. That leads us to our first match, Finn Balor versus JD McDonough. Haven't we seen this before? All the bloody time. Roxanne Perez betrayal hurts a little. That leads us to the tag team match teased from last week's Raw, Penta and Javon Evans versus Rusev and Ethan Page. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. I actually think the WWE stumbled on something great here. Rusev and Ethan Page work very well together. I've spoken a lot about Rusev, and I've spoken about him being that monster that never seemingly wins anything. But this relationship between Rusev and Ethan seems like it could work. Listen, if one doesn't become the Intercontinental Champion, listen, put the tag team titles on them. They look great together, and I'm supremely against putting two singles wrestlers together and making them into a tag team. But these two kind of remind me a little bit of Team Hell No in a way. They are great together, and I think they could not only have great matches, but they could deliver great comedy segments. Led by Ethan, of course. Leads us to the contract signing of Sol Rooker. Well, I must say, this is a hell of a pop and pomp. I haven't seen this since Bianca Belair. That is a push behind Sol Rooker. We know exactly where she's going on the roster as far as the women are concerned. Interrupted, of course, by the Irish ass kicker. I love Becky Lynch. I really do. She is so funny and such a sport. Oh my God, this is going to be a great way to start off her run. For Sol Rooker, obviously. We're talking about Paul. Can we fire Logan Paul? Joe Hendry in concert start off. He has his match against Austin Theory. Very good match, actually. Very, very good match. Although it was kind of predictable exactly the way that match was going to end, and so it did. With an interference by Bron Breakker, the Street Profits, Seth Rollins, it was just going off in every direction. From the start of the show, they just had chaos. And I kind of feel like Backlash is shaping up to be a better PLE than WrestleMania was. That's crazy, right? Which brings us to the Oba Femi Challenge. Oh, I was looking forward to this. Oh, is that Tozawa? Uh, uh, that's more the speed. So we have Otis versus Obafemi. Well, this match has been done before, as the commentator said. I very much remember it. It was a very, very good match as far as Otis goes. I didn't know Otis could move like that, and I didn't know Otis could go for as long as that. So kudos. One thing you will notice that Obafemi does in every match is the puff, puff, toss, right? Yeah. See, I noticed that it doesn't matter how large the competitor is, even if it's Otis, they're going to get puff, puff, tossed. And why are they going to get puff, puff, tossed? Remember, he is a collegiate level shot putter. Puff, puff, toss. That leads us to a second appearance by Ethan Page. All ego, baby. Which for me makes Ethan my MVP of the night. Congratulations, sir. I just thought he held presence so well throughout the night. We are looking at a character who is going to be absolutely phenomenal and instrumental going forth. I really hope they create a tag team between Rusev and Ethan Page, as I just think they will work so well together. Ethan Page is such a fantastic performer character-wise, not only as a wrestler. He is fantastic in the ring as a wrestler. He's a big guy. He's huge. But he just works so well. He has this smarmy kind of bit of a snake character about him, but very comical with it. So, Ethan Page, my MVP of the night. Thank you. Congratulations, sir. That leads us to a match between Io and Asuka. Well, not a match, it's more of a promo, and it was a promo segment within a room. So I actually thought this is the best promo of the night. I thought the setting was nice. I thought the idea of, before they put it in Japanese and then they put the subtitles at the bottom, so they're speaking in Japanese and you can see the subtitles, but at this point they spoke in Japanese and then they spoke exactly what they said in Japanese, I guess, back in English, and it just had such gravitas and feel to it. Putting it in the room and grading it with the colors and everything just made it look more like a movie setting. And obviously, they were able to edit a lot better with a mouthful of the poisonous mist that came into play. Absolutely fantastic. I thought maybe Asuka had forgotten her lines, and then bam, there came the mist. It was absolutely fantastic. Top promo. And once again, we want Kyrie. And so we may just get her. There's been a lot of reports. I can't say by exactly who because no one has confirmed anything, but there's a great possibility that Kyrie may come back at Backlash, be re-signed by the WWE to finish her storyline. Obviously, we don't know. That would be something of a great surprise. And I think we do want Kyrie back. Doesn't really make sense as to why they got rid of her, especially in the middle of a storyline, and not to mention she is an absolutely phenomenal wrestler anyway. So, yes, my best promo of the night goes to Io and Asuka. Congratulations, ladies. That brings us to Los Americanos versus Los Americanos? Los Americanos versus the real Los Americanos. This is getting confusing as hell. Well, we know who all the competitors are in this match. And here's the thing. I give this match my Triple Crown Champ award for best match of the night. And the reason I do that is because if you peel back the layers, there's something both great and terrible about this segment. So here it is. You have on one side, you have Ludwig Kaiser, you have Pete Dunne, and you have Tyler Bates. On the other side of the ring, you have the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus, and you have Chad Gable. 6 competitors. 6 of the greatest, purest wrestlers that you have on the rosters, male or female. They are phenomenal, all of them. Wrestlers, and in different styles. Obviously, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates have the European strong style, and the Creed brothers and Shorty J, Chad Gable, all have that heavy mat-based style. Ludwig Kaiser has a more elegance to him, but it's a European style. We're talking about second generation here. Because if people don't remember, his father was a wrestler. In fact, that's how he and Gunther met. And if I'm not mistaken, Gunther wrestled for Ludwig Kaiser's father's company. So we're talking about all competitors within this match are fantastic, phenomenal wrestlers going back quite some time. They all have to put masks on to get into a match on the main roster. That's absolutely terrible. It shouldn't have to come to that for these men to have to do that just to get in the wrestling ring and get on TV. But in any case, it was a wonderful, and absolutely phenomenal match. Worth a watch at any time. Really, it was. So my award for best match of the night goes to Los Americanos versus Los Americanos. That brings us to our main event segment, which was obviously the contract signing between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns. Absolutely fantastic. Again, they kept this kind of running energy of chaos throughout the entire show. I thought it was actually one of the better Raws I've seen in a long time. They kept the chaos running all the way through the show until the very end, culminating with Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns contract signing. We all saw how that ended with an absolute brawl. Jacob Fatu once again coming out on top, looking absolutely phenomenal. But I think it's another indicator that he will lose the match. Now, what we do have to talk about in respects of that main event for Backlash is I have been doing a little bit of my own personal research. I've heard the rumors, much like many of you have, that Zilla Fatu could be introduced during this feud as a member of the Bloodline. Remember, a couple of the Tongans have been let go. So I guess there's room within this feud somewhere along the lines. A lot of talk about Zilla Fatu again. So I've had a look at his schedule, and as far as him being there, it's looking very promising, I must say, as Zilla Fatu isn't booked for any events during that entire weekend. Where his location will be as far as that entire weekend, nobody knows. So it's very possible that the WWE could bring him in. Again, he's also an independent wrestler, not signed to contract to anyone. He's been performing on several different independent brands. So, and not contracted to any one of them. So therefore, there is a great possibility that he could be signed by the WWE. number one stop shop for wrestling talk. We're talking champs v contenders, rookies v vets, and shoots v works. I am your host, the Triple Crown Champ. Let's get into it.